By the way, Mr. Jordan and Mr. Adams are here if you have any questions. But if you don't think we can run without a safety director, again, I've never seen anything like this in all my years here since 1986.
Should have been around the last 2 years.
Mr. Mancini, please hold your thoughts. There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Scott. Is there a second?
I'll support. Second that.
Motion on the floor, properly supported by Mr. Orcutt, to move the appointment of Mr. Scott Adams to January 16th. Open for discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Poindexter.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I only got a partial resume on this one, so I would want to review him a little bit more. We only got pages 3 and 4 of his resume, so it's not complete. I'd like to have the full information before approving him. Thanks.
Seeing no other discussion, Michelle, please call the roll.
Scott,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Salvatore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, we'll move to Rec Director, Mark Elliott.
Mayor's asking for approval on Mark Elliott as rec director.
Mr. Chairman, I did get Mark's resume, and I have had the time to review it, and I know Mark personally. I know what he's capable of, so I'd make a motion to approve Mark Elliott.
Support.
Motion to approve Mark Elliott as rec director, properly supported. Open for discussion. Mr. Scott.
Yeah, I concur with Ms. Salvador. I do know Mr. Elliott. Like I said, it's nothing personal against Mr. Jordan or Mr. Adams. I don't know anything about you, Mr. Elliott. I mean, I do know Mr. Elliott. I've worked with him for many, many years. I have no issues with him. So I do concur with Mr. Salvador. Thank you.
Mr. Bergio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that Mr. Elliott would do a great job as director since he had so much experience doing that, and I would support them also.
Mr. Mancini.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I concur. And as with most of the appointments are going to be, I'm sure I'll be in full support. Once I get, full information, I get to see a few things. But obviously, with my whole career here, with my lifelong career here with the city, obviously over all of them, I've seen Mr. Elliott in action in almost every form and field, whether it be coach, director, mayor, and I wholeheartedly support this appointment. Thank you.
Seeing no other questions or comments, motion on the floor to appoint Mark Elliott as rec director, properly seconded. Michelle, please call the roll.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Elliott, welcome back to the city of Brook Park.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd like to put the name of Chris St. Clair for the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Mr. Salvatore?
Make a motion to approve Chris St. Clair.
Support.
Motion to approve, properly seconded. Any questions? Seeing no questions, Michelle, please call the roll.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
motion carried.
Motion's been approved and carried for Mr. Sinclair, Planning and Development Commissioner.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Robin Way for Recreation Commission.
Support. I'll make a
Motion
motion.
to approve.
Support.
Motion made to appoint Robin Wade to the Recreation Committee, properly supported. Open for discussion. Seeing no discussion, Michelle, please call the roll.
Mancini,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
motion carried.
Motion's carried. Ms. Way and Mr. Sinclair, welcome to both commissions.
And finally, Mr. Chairman, Terry Gardner for City Civil Service.
Motion to appoint Terry Gardner to Civil Service.
Support.
Motions.
Oh, we
I'll
gotta
make the
make a mo-
motion.
Support it.
Supported and properly supported. Any questions? See no questions. Michelle, please call the roll.
Mancini,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
motion carried.
Mr. Gardner has been approved. Welcome to the Civil Service Commission.
That concludes my appointments.
All right. Item number 2, appointment of clerk of council on any such officers as council may deem necessary. Council open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Orcutt.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we extend council clerk's pay until the end of January. That way we can take some time and review resumes that have been received. Support.
Motion on the floor to extend the council clerk's pay till the end of January, properly supported. Open for discussion. Seeing no discussion, Michelle, please call the roll.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
Motion carries to extend till the end of January. Item number 3, election of council president pro tem.
I'm a nominate Councilman Rick Salvatore.
Support.
Anyone else have a nomination? Mr. Salvatore's been nominated, properly seconded. Any discussion? Michelle, please call the roll.
Mancini,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mr. Salvatore, you've been confirmed, voted in by your peers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'd like to thank all members of council for the vote of confidence. Thank you.
All right, so item number 4, 2018 caucus and council meeting dates. As they're currently set, we've got them through the end of February.
Motion to accept as written?
Motion on the floor,
Support.
properly seconded. Any comments?
The council already approved that.
Prior council.
No, it would have still been okay, but that's all. If you want this council to have that, it's going to go through the end of February?
That's the 2 months that were approved previously, yes.
Okay.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve, properly seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question.
Mr. Poindexter.
Do we need the extra dates? I mean, I notice here that, I mean, our caucus meeting today, we have nothing on the agenda. Do we, at this point, need the caucus meetings, the next 2, I would say, at least? Do we just continue with the schedule, or do we, I mean, do we need them?
Well, depending on what is on the agenda would be the answer to that question. Remember, council, this is your council, so the rules that you make up are the rules in which we will follow. I will run the meetings according to the way you set the rules. Any other discussion? Seeing no other discussion, motion on the floor is to approve the first 2 months of 2018 as written. Properly seconded. Michelle, please call the roll.
Scott,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Motion carries. We will stay with them as written for the first 2 months. Item number 5, acceptance of rules of council. There's a copy that's attached to this. This copy was put in place. We'll give a little preface to this. This is open for discussion. There's some items on here that there may be some contentious items, but as I just stated to Mr. Poindexter, this is council's rules. Council will vote this in. I will run the meetings accordingly. So these are totally up to you. I mean, what does council want to do at this point?
Chairman,
Mr. Salvatore.
I would like to see us adopt the rules that we ended up the last term with. Just change the date on there and accept those rules, and then we'll change them as we go based on council rules.
So you're asking that we adopt the 2016-2017 council rules and amend as we move forward.
Right.
Support.
Motion on the floor, properly supported, to adopt the 2016-2017 council rules and amend moving forward. Open for discussion. Mr. Mancini.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll concur with my colleague, Mr. Salvatore. I think this is going to be something that our new council here as a whole could tend to work over. My colleague, Councilman Poindexter, had asked, do we need the meetings? There's going to be a lot coming here in January, February, I believe. So I believe any meeting that we could possibly have is going to be able to solve a lot of wide-ranging problems that we might have, or things we want to bring forward, or things that are in committee, things of that sort. And as the year goes on, and we definitely, hopefully, start working together, we won't be needing, I'm looking at this calendar right now, and there's a lot of meetings coming here. So after February, hopefully, we could break down to the 2 meetings, and we could adjust to the council rules that we have as a new council as a whole. And provided, hopefully, that we all work together on them. And that's what we did last time. We made a couple arrangements early, or I'm sorry, a few, say, amendments on them before. And as the year went on, I said I'd give it 6 months, and I did. And we made a few changes here. I think we made them more back in 2017 than we did 16. And that's what you see now. So we could go with that now. And if you guys see changes that you think we might want to make here, feel free to bring them forward. So that's my opinion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? All right, so we have a motion on the floor, properly seconded. Michelle, please call the roll.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini.
Yes.
Question. Am I just changing the dates?
Yes.
Is that what I'm doing?
Just changing the 2016-2017 dates to read 2018-2019.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 6, committee assignments for standing committees for 2018-2019. Aviation and Environmental, Chairman Mr. Bergio, Co-Chairman Mr. Scott, Member Mr. Orcutt. Finance Committee, Chairman Mr. Scott, Co-Chairman Mr. Stem, Member Mr. Mancini. Legislative Committee, Chairman Mancini, Co-Chairman Salvatore, Member Stem. Parks and Recreation, Chairman is Salvatore, Co-Chairman is Mancini, Member is Poindexter. Planning Committee, Chairman Carl Bergio, Co-Chairman Ed Orcutt, Member Greg Stem. Safety Committee, Chairman Greg Stem, Co-Chairman Rich Scott, Member Jim Mancini. Service Committee, Chairman Ed Orcutt, Co-Chairman Rich Scott, Member Mancini. Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Scott, I'd like you to carry that over. I'm pointing you back to it as chairman. Co-chairman, Mr. Salvatore. Mr. Mancini as member. We have the special committees of council. Special committees of council for appointments by council. Southwest General Health Center trustee.
I make a motion to nominate Rick Salvatore for trustee.
Support.
Motion on the floor to nominate Mr. Salvatore for the Southwest General Health Center trustee, properly supported. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Michelle, please call the roll.
Bergio,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
Berea Board of Education representative.
Chairman, I'd like to nominate Rachel McDonald.
Support.
Nomination of Rachel McDonald as a representative for Berea Board of Education, properly supported. Anyone else? Open for discussion? No discussion? Michelle, please call the roll.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Mancini,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, confirmations of Mr. Salvatore as the Southwest General Health Center trustee and Rachel McDonald as a Berea Board of Education representative. I would also like to add to that, if council would allow me, I would like to have a backup to that, and I think I would like to appoint Mr. Poindexter to that if council has no objection.
I'll support that.
All right, I need a motion for it.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor properly seconded to add Mr. Poindexter as a secondary representative for the Berea Board of Education. Any questions? All right. Seeing no questions, Michelle, please call the roll.
Mancini,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
motion carried.
Motion carries. Welcome Rachel McDonald, Brian Poindexter, and Mr. Salvatore as the special committees of council and everyone else to their respective assignments. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2018-2019 Brook Park City Council and committee chair people and persons on those committees. Thank you. We have nothing else on the agenda for the organizational meeting. Motion to adjourn.
Motion so made.
Support.
Motion on the floor properly seconded. Michelle, please call the roll.
Mancini,
Yes.
Bergio,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Salvatore,
Yes.
Stem,
Yes.
Orcutt,
Yes.
Poindexter,
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned at 6:33. We will reconvene at 7 p.m. for the caucus meeting.